Hi, and welcome to Connected, the podcast with Melissa J. Scott. Today, we are going to be discussing your why. So many people don't do this deep dive into their business, and it really blows me away because it's so important that you understand the reason why behind you do what you do so you can communicate that to your audience and really connect with them in a really sincere and genuine way. And they can know in a heartbeat whether you are right for them or not right for them. And you can be doing more business with your target audience that you want and not just, speaking to a whole lot of people that are wrong for you, but actually connecting to your audience that are right for you, because life is so pleasant in business when we have clients that we know and love, and they know and love and like us back and trust us. They want our services. They love our products. They're so easy to do business with. So fundamental way of doing that is actually understanding your why, what makes you unique, so you can communicate that back to your audience. And the other thing that makes it really beautiful is when you understand the pain that your audience is in. And I'm not talking about just, like that, I need more clients type pain. I'm talking about the stuff that keeps people awake at night type of pain. That's a third level pain. And I go into more detail about what that's like in the podcast. So listen in. I hope you enjoy it, and subscribe if you like the channel, and give me some love and share it on, because that's what it's all about. So anyway, what I was talking to you about is my own unique brand of connection marketing, which is, if you guys are familiar with me, you would have heard me talk about this a bit now. And it's particularly really relevant to you guys in business, as business leaders, as people, as authority figures in your industry, people that could be in sales, people that are doing the marketing. If you're supporting a marketing team, you really need to be trying to create as deep a connection as you can with your audience. And that's pretty tough going right now. There are a lot of people out there that are making a lot of noise, saying a lot of good things, and it's being lost because they haven't created the connection and they haven't got the message across to their audience, because everybody's really time poor, everybody is stressed to the max. People are going through stuff. We've just been through the most amazing pandemic time. It's the most unique time. Your audience is emotional. People don't know how to take these changing times. And so it's very hard to get your marketing message out there when maybe it used to be easy for you. So I'm talking to you about your businesses and about doing a deep dive into your business. And that's the first thing that we do actually in my online course, where we take you into your business and really pull you back from working in it and get you to sort of sit like a hovercraft over the top of it and actually really look at what you are doing like working on your business. So the first thing I get you to do is a real deep dive strategy type thing. And it's very, very tempting as business owners, where we want to just go in and we want to do a really sexy strategy, dive into the tactics of what we do with business, rather than actually just get into what is it behind the scenes? What is it that we need to do? The strategy and the foundations of laying out your business. It's very tempting to get in there and start building websites and putting up social media pages and doing videos and doing all this really great, sexy stuff. But if you don't know why you're doing things, your message is going to be completely lost. And that is such a sad thing for your business, because that's why you're not connecting with your audience, and that's why you're not getting through to them. So the first thing that I would suggest to you guys is, first of all, work on your strategy and understand, your goals. What do you want to get out of this? So you sort of need to look at like what the last year has been for you, like 2020. How's that been for you? What was it like? Was it good? Were you one of the rare businesses that actually did really well out of the whole COVID lockdown? Or are you struggling? Did you actually have to shut your business or shut down different areas of business? Did you have to do a mad pivot? What has it been like for you in 2020? That's the first thing you need to do, is really look at quite critically what it was like. And not just from dollars, but also from, was it a hard slog? Is the things that you used to sell to clients they're now not interested in? That could very much be the case. Really get to understand your business intimately and know what it is that, is basically what people want from your business now. That you might need to actually be doing more of a pivot, and you haven't done that, and that's not working well for your business. So first of all, understand the fundamentals of how it is in reality. Second thing you need to do is then set your goals. Set some really clear, definable action tasks around goals that you want to achieve in the next year, so you're not just like out there flying blind. And you really need to understand intimately then two things, what I want to talk to you about today, which is about, well, three things. Why are you doing what you're doing? What makes you unique? And the third thing is actually pain points around your target audience and your customer base, understanding who the hell you're talking to and who you're selling to. So let's talk around your why first. Let me know, why are you in business? Why do you do what you do? Why do your clients come to you? Why do people choose you? Why do you make an impact? Why should people choose you? It's really an interesting topic. Like, people think, oh, you know, why? I'm in business to make a living. I'm an expert at what I do, and I want to, make a living at what I do. But there's got to be more to it than that. People really need to connect to, why it is that you do what you do. It's great if you actually have clients right now, ask them, why did they choose you? What attracted you to them? What was it in your marketing that they liked? What was the message that you were delivering? You really need to have such an innate understanding, and it's a lot of psychology behind your business about what you do. You want people to help you out with discovering this. So the best people who are going to be able to help you out are the people that already buy from you, and the people that maybe supply to you or follow you. They might not actually be your customers right now, but they might be following you and they might be hesitating. The most important thing that you really want to understand about your audience is what pain that they're in. So, but we'll jump to that in a minute. I always jump around a bit with my things, but understanding your why. So I want to give you a few examples, because it's always really good to understand what I'm talking about when I actually give you examples. So right now we're working with an accountant, and accountants, they all sort of seem to be operating in the same space, don't they? It's all very, we do your tax, we do your compliance, we'll help you with your numbers, we'll make it all possible for you, we'll help you write a budget, it's all very samey. So what is it that makes you unique and different and stand out? And quite often it is your why. So right now I'm working with an accountant who's an amazing guy. His why is that he sincerely really cares about his clients, and that he works with them he likes to get them from startup phase, and he'll actually take them through a process that he has, which is a lot of education involved in that stage, where he gets them to a point where their businesses are functioning really well and they have the greatest opportunity to succeed in what they're doing, and they're not just like number crunching. They're actually understanding what they're doing in business, and they have a huge amount of loyalty towards him. When they ring him, he picks up the phone, he answers the phone. If he can't get back to them, he gets back to them within that day. He sincerely cares about what they're doing. He creates content for them that they're interested in, that helps them. He isn't having conversations with them like every other accountant. He's having personal conversations about them, their family, about their customers, about what makes them tick. He talks to them about their health, their personal health, their mental health. He really is a very empathic, compassionate, involved provider of a service that is essential, something that people can't live without. When you've got a business, you must have an accountant. So you might as well have an accountant that actually really cares about you and does an amazing job for you. So that's just one example. So his why is to deeply connect people to what it is that they're doing, and to help them have fundamentally a really good understanding of their business, and so that it improves their personal life and their business life. So they're actually in business for all the right reasons, and they're functioning at a really high level in their business. They're not just going through the motions and wondering how the hell it all works out at the end of the year and hoping they make a profit. Like, they're really getting educated from the beginning to the end. Another example, we're working with a guy who is a supplier to tradesmen, and he provides an amazing service to them. But the distinct difference about him is that he has been a tradesman. He now has actually switched over to the administration side. And so he can speak to them one-to-one really passionately about, most tradesmen who are small operators work till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, every single night, doing their quoting, doing their scheduling, dealing with their suppliers, doing their paperwork, doing their bookwork. And so his why is to help these guys have a better life than what he had when he was doing that in his own business. And there's a huge incidence of marriage problems with tradesmen who operate like this. Mental health is another issue. So their relationships with their children. So his why is very much around, he wants to make sure that their life is better than what his was when he was a tradesman. So that's a huge why. And that also makes him incredibly unique. So I'm hoping you're hearing these stories and you can bring them back to your own business, and you think, you know what? Yeah, wow. Like, I know that I do this better than anybody else in my industry, but it just so turns out that I don't actually tell anybody about it, because we're all such bashful, shy people. We really sort of think to ourselves, oh, do people really want to hear from me? So it's important that you understand, yes, people do want to hear from you, but not only do they want to hear from you, they want to hear why they should be doing business with you, and not just because you're good at what you do, because there's actually quite there's a belief out there, I think, in most industries, if you've been in business for a while, you are good at what you do. So people want to actually understand what makes you different. What do you stand for? Why will I choose you? Um, and do you care about me? Is probably one of the number one reasons people will choose somebody and they'll make a decision to move from one provider to the next provider. Is just purely on the basis, do you actually care about me? It's quite incredible how many people, how many business owners that I do work with and I get to see, and they're fantastic and they do care about their audience, but they don't communicate it in their marketing. And it comes from a point of view where they want to be seen to be really professional. They want to be seen to be, of a really high standing. Like I've got a client who's actually a counselor, but she's worried all the time about what other people in her profession say about her, because it's that kind of industry. It's a very highbrow with their qualifications. They're very, very particular. And so the way that they market is dictated by the way that they're worried about people criticizing them within their own industry. And this goes for, lots of people in that sort of that higher brow area, like maybe legal firms or doctors, counselors, therapists, people in any kind of self-help, the natural therapies. They're very concerned about what their peers are saying about them. And it's not the way that you build a really great connection with your audience if you're desperately concerned about actually what your peers are going to say about you. So let's just get past that self-limiting belief right now that it even matters what your peers say about you. It really doesn't matter. I can't tell you, if I was sitting here worried about what my peers thought about me every time I press go live on a video like this, I'd be in a state, wouldn't I? Because there'd be stuff that I'd be saying that maybe is different to what people in my industry believe. And if I worried about what they believed all the time, I wouldn't press live, and then I wouldn't be exposed to you guys, and I wouldn't have the impact that I have and get the clients that I get. And this is exactly the same for your business too. So it's critical that you understand why you're in business, what makes you unique. But then the next stage of that is that it's critical that you don't care about what people think and say, and that you just communicate that beautiful difference that you have with your audience, and that you let it shine. You let people know who you are, and you get past the concerns about what people are thinking of you, and that you share your beautiful message with the world. And that's what marketing is. It's just sharing your message with your audience. The next thing I want to talk about is actually your audience and how well do you know your audience? Because yes, it's one thing to understand your unique you-ness and to understand your why and to talk about that nonstop, but everybody knows, well, not everybody knows, you should know if you're in marketing and you've got your own business, that it's really about the end user. It's about the customer, and it's about their perspective. It's about what's in it for me is what people are thinking when they've got their phones and they're scrolling and they're going through their Facebook feeds or their Instagram feeds. They're asking what's in it for me. They want to know what it is that you can provide them that helps them from their perspective. So yes, it is important that you know what's unique about you and you communicate your why to your audience, but it's just as important that you are saying it from their perspective so that they can relate it back to them. Now, one thing that I do, which is what you've already noticed I've probably done in this presentation, is I tell stories. And that's just one of the best ways to make it relatable. One of the reasons why you want to tell stories is because people can often have a self-limiting belief around, wow, that's good for you, but that's not good for me. I don't know I can't confidently communicate that as well as you do. So it really is, that's fine for them, not fine for me. So I try to tell as many stories as I can about real life people who are just the same as you, just the same as me, as business owners, and how they're having success in their business. The best way to know your audience, again, is to do another deep dive and look at who you're already communicating with, and particularly look at the kind of clients that you really like working with. So we can find ourselves as business owners that we've got a ton of clients, but maybe we don't actually like all of them. So yes, I get clients to look at who their A clients are. These are the people that are actually pay your bills. They're a joy to work with. They just get you. Every time you interact with them, you feel like it's a really positive interaction. It's really lights you up to be able to provide a service to them. They say thank you. They appreciate you. You don't have to chase them down for payment. That's an A-type client, and you want to get more of those. So with your marketing, you want to try and attract those kind of people. I use the accountant as an example. Now, there are plenty of accountants, that have all sorts of different demographics, but the particular accountant I was working with, he knows that he doesn't want to work with the people that are just fly-by-nighters, come in, they want their tax return done for under $100 and then they move out. He knows that his target audience, his beautiful, where he really resonates and he can give his most value, are the people that are running businesses. They're quite entrepreneurial in their mindset. They have great self-belief. They have funds behind them to be able to promote, get their business going, and they trust what he says. So, and they also have a shared value, usually around good health, around family, around growth, around sharing, and around respect. So you think about that's pretty deep level, intimate, getting to know who your audience is. And if you can really understand who your A-type client is, then you can start creating marketing pieces that will appeal to them. So you get more and more of them coming through the door. And one of the best ways you can create really good content pieces for your A-type clients is, yes, you can inspire them and give them stuff, like right now I'm giving you sort of education, so it's inspiring and it's really helpful, and hopefully you're really getting some good take-home points from this. But you also want to be touching on people's pain points when you're delivering content. Pain points. Do you understand what I mean when I say pain points, when I'm talking about that with a client? Their pain points are the stuff that they don't really speak about much. This is the stuff that is kind of under the surface. There's 3 different levels of pain points. There's the stuff that just sort of sits under the surface. Then there's the stuff that actually is really kind of bothering someone. It creates angst and it really gives them shits. Then there's the next level pain. This is the kind of 3rd level deep pain that you really want to get to with your clients, where it keeps you up at night. It's stressing you out. It's actually really, really, it's a conundrum. It's a problem you can't solve. So for me with clients, it's a pretty easy one. It's I'll get clients when I understand that their pain is that and that's why I have a connection marketing course, is when the client comes to me and they have deep level pain because they have a business, they have a great service or product. They are bloody good at what they do. This is probably describing you as well. You're really good at what you do, but you're the best kept secret in your industry, and you're trying stuff. You're putting up the Facebook stuff. You might be making some videos. You might have a website. You might do the odd webinar. You might even get on a podcast as a guest, but you're not getting traction. It's not translating through to growing your audience. You're not getting your A-type clients. You're not getting the people that you really, really want in your database, and they're not converting into customers. But where the 3rd level pain, so that's the annoyance. That's like that 2nd level pain. But the 3rd level pain is actually like, well, I don't know if I can keep running my business anymore. I don't know if this is going to sustain my family. I am losing confidence in my abilities and it's affecting my performance. This is when it gets really heavy. And this is the kind of 3rd level pain that if you can actually connect that with your marketing material to your audience, and you can actually touch them in a way that actually they feel like far out. I create content around that then they go, wow, so I need to connect with my audience. Okay. And I connect through being real. I connect through understanding my why. I connect by telling them why I'm unique. I connect by telling them, sharing stories about my success stories with my audience, but actually getting deeper, not just like sharing the light, fluffy stuff, sharing the deeper stuff. I connect by actually sharing a real life experience about where I helped a client who was, and using my example again, where they were going to close their doors and they created some campaign which got more people in. They did a webinar where they talked about something really deep, and then it got more audience, and they got that one dream client, and then away their business went. Something like that, some sort of really deep connection. So one story that I like to really tell is about a camper trailer company that we used to do a lot of work with. So, and they're huge now. So when we started working with them, the owner didn't even believe in marketing or branding. He just thought it was all a big wank. He just thought marketing was just advertising, just getting ads up online, getting to as many people as possible, and just like telling them the price and then moving on to the next one. And we really showed him through creating content marketing pieces, where social media was just becoming really big then when we started doing this. We started creating video content, started creating really personalized content, got a gig on a radio station where we actually really started connecting actually what people wanted when they're buying a camper trailer. They don't just want a trailer with 4 wheels that tows behind a car, even though they think that's what they want. They actually want to create connection with their family or with their partner or with their friends. And they want to have a deeper connection with the environment, and they want to get out there and they want to relive their childhood memories, and they really want to get off social media, and they want to connect back with the environment and be out in nature and really be at one, and particularly connect with their family and connect with their loved ones. Now, when we started telling stories like that in their marketing, they just started exploding. Their sales started exploding. Their salespeople started becoming like real rock stars in their industry because we started showing a whole lot of personal videos and personal photos of the team out camping with their families, and it became really sincere. And so we actually started out of these really normal blokes in this industry, turn them into industry rock stars, which is crazy. They started signing autographs when they were going to, this is back in the day when you could have expos. They'd have expos and they'd do shows, and people would clamour to see them and meet them and shake their hand, and the families were even sort of popular as well. The kids were popular. Like it really, it just turned into this amazing organic love machine. And that's where my understanding of connection marketing really came to fruition. I really came to understand what it meant to create a true connection with your audience and to deliver them what they want, what they themselves didn't even know, the great unspoken. So that's probably the biggest thing I can impart on you today is if you can get to the source of what is really creating great unsettling feelings in your clients, like emotionally, if you can really connect to the source of what it is that keeps them awake at night, and you're the person, you're the service provider or you're the products provider of the thing that actually answers that need, that will cut through. People will stop scrolling and they will stop and they will pay attention. And it could be from what we did with these guys, the Camper Trailer Company. It could be from the radio show. It could be from the Facebook posts. It could be from the videos that we were creating and they were putting into the relevant publications. It could be from face-to-face at an expo. It could be on the company Facebook page or the personal Facebook page. It could be from a webinar that was run. It could be from a guest podcast. You never know. It could be from somebody else word of mouth, and then they come and check you out and they go to the website and they actually see it. It could be from a blog post. It could be from a PR article in a magazine. Like the way that you create connection with your audience, there's so many ways that you can. So it's really, if they're the three things that you take home just from this short little education session today, it's understanding your why, what makes you unique, and then addressing the pain of your audience and speaking to them on that level. So they really, really believe that you get them, at that you understand them. There's actually a really nice saying that I want to read to you guys. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Now, Jane Goodall said that. And that's exactly what it's all about. You know, people are in these times very emotional. We have been through trauma. There are so many traumatized people. There are people being medicated for depression and anxiety and trauma right now, particularly in Victoria, where they've just come out of the most hideous lockdown again for a second time. You know, it's been debilitating, this period of time. And so people are traumatized, legitimately. They are looking for suppliers, providers, people to do business with that they feel a connection to and an emotional attachment to, not just somebody who does a good job, because the assumption is if you're in business, you do a good job. What else do you provide me? And this is what I'm talking about with the connection, and it's the understanding, and it's that one-to-one. I get you. You're a human being. I see you. I understand you. I understand your needs, and I will move heaven and earth to give you what it is that you need. Because yes, I do this service, or yes, I have this product, but I understand you more intimately than that. It's not just about that. It is about so much more. So it wouldn't be a good education session if I didn't give you a little bit of homework. The homework is I really want you to get clear on your why, because, and you know, if you want to do the pain session as well, you can do the pain about your clients, but I can talk about that another time. But it's really clear, people, this is the tricky one. You know, why are you doing what you do? A lot of people go into business because they fell into business, because they're good at what they do. So for me, I went into business because I was a graphic designer. I'd gotten out of uni. I was working, this is a long time ago, 25 years ago, and my boss actually lost a major, she had, somebody walked out of the business and took half the clients with her. She lost a major chunk of her business. She couldn't afford to keep me on anymore. So she made myself and the sales rep redundant, which is pretty stupid, because we were probably I was the cheapest graphic designer she had in there, and he was actually revenue raising, and she sacked both of us because she was loyal to the existing staff, because we were the first in, so we were the first to go. Last in, so we were the first to go. And so we set up business with her blessing, might I add, underneath her. And that's how I went into my own business. So it wasn't a burning desire to do anything. It was actually a reaction that I had just lost my job overnight, and that I had some clients and she was letting me take them and setting me up underneath her business, so it looked like I still worked for her, so her ego was soothed and we were able to start our business. And that's how I started my business. So I had to develop my why along the way. And I used to have an issue with being a graphic designer. I used to be like, oh, because we used to do a lot of ads. This was before everything was online. And I was like, oh, I don't feel connected to that message. It's all just advertising, like I feel like it's shallow because I'm pretty deep. I wanted to do things that were worthwhile. And then when I discovered personal branding, and then I discovered working with business owners on what they do and helping them share their why, and exactly the stuff that I'm talking to you about today, and helping them grow their businesses and be better. Because I saw a whole lot of business owners good at what they did, but they weren't getting that cut through because they didn't know how to communicate and do their marketing well. Well, that's when I just came into my own. I'm like, that's my purpose. I want to help business owners have the best lives possible and be empowered and see their kids every day, and have choices in their business, not work for other business owners and entrepreneurs, but be their own entrepreneur and create the life that they want. And particularly now that I'm approaching 50, I want to be able to share this with other people that are in the middle of their life, and that they know that their time is yet to come, and to really, work with them on creating their best life. And it doesn't matter, you haven't missed the boat if you're nearly 50 or if you're over 50. Your life is just now, like your wisdom and your experience. It's never too late to get started. Let's get started now. So that's my why. So I want you guys to do that. I want you to get super duper connected to your why. So why you do what you do. How did you fall into business anyway? What's kept you in business? Who do you help the most? And why do people choose you? Get really intimate on understanding why do people choose you. So ask people, why do they choose you? And even better, if you're ballsy enough, ask people why they didn't choose you. If you did a quote, or you did, knew you were going to make a big sale and it fell through, and it was for, most people don't ask the reason because they're afraid of the rejection. But ask, why did you miss out? It could be something so tiny. It could be something that you could fix. It could be just that you didn't respond quickly enough and they didn't feel cared about. It could be that they just ran out of budget. There's a million reasons, and it's really great for you to understand, why did you miss out on the sale? Why did you choose somebody else? Why did you not go with me? And it could be simple. It could be that I felt like that they cared. I felt like they had more time for me. You're so busy, you didn't get back to me on time. I just want to work with somebody that answers my phone calls. It could be so simple, something that you could fix. And the last part of your homework is this something that you do? Is this something that you share with your audience now? Do you tell stories? Do you let people know what it is that makes you unique? And are you letting them know what your why is? Are people connecting with you and understanding just how much you can help them in your business? And I get that it's hard. I get that people are busy and time poor. We talked about that at the beginning of the training. So whatever you can do to get across to people your message, and it can be like I just described to you before, it can be all the different touch points, and we need 20 touch points anyway before somebody will feel like they have the confidence to do business with us. So understand what it is that makes you different, and talk about those stories, and talk to them real life, understanding their pain and giving them stories that actually really helps them feel good about themselves and fix those problems. You are well ahead, streaks ahead of most people in your industry, and positioning yourself as an industry leader. And if you notice, nothing that I said today was about discounting. Nothing I said to you was about pricing. This is not about being the cheapest. Connection marketing is all about being super duper quality, super duper connected to your A-type clients, and delivering to them what they want, what they need, what they're craving. That's what connection marketing is all about. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found that really valuable. It's one of my favorite topics, and in the Connection Marketing online course, people say that this is the section, there's a whole lot of other steps that we go into, and they say that this is the section that has the most impact for them with their business, because it really helps them connect back to the core of what their business is all about. Not just about the services or the products that they actually are selling, but it's really about why. why they do what they do. And you can have that too. So, get on board, do the action steps that I gave you from today's podcast. But if you're really interested, go check out connectionmarketing.online. And there's a whole lot of information there that can really help you, and some free stuff there that you can look at while you're waiting for the next intake of courses. And I hope that you really consider it for your business, because if this is resonating with you, I think connection marketing is possibly for you. It's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to grow and develop their business through their personal branding. But for the people that it is for, this is just one of the best ways to reach your audience, get the kind of audience that you really want, share with them your why, what makes you unique, talk to them to their pain points, and really help them, deliver them an amazing service that lights them up. So anyway, hopefully that resonates with you guys, and I will chat to you in the next podcast.